Hi there, this is Mark, and just wanted to take a moment to kind of show you that, even when it comes to the writing stuff, I have like up here in my mind, like what needs to happen. And, it's not unusual. I don't know how long you've been writing, but it's not unusual for people to like struggle to kind of focus and to kind of really get their ideas down. And that's why I shared with you that sheet the other day because literally when I go to create content, it's like I know and have a rough idea of what needs to happen. Like I just generally know like, hey, that page doesn't look good and it probably needs more content and some changes. And so I am not a creative person at all. I learned in the military because I have actually learning disabilities, learning challenges, and it takes me usually twice as long to go through trainings and remember stuff than a lot of people that are, some of my past friends, etc. So that's why I'm actually just going to show you literally step by step. This is exactly what I would do, which is going to be probably not much different than what you would do. I'm just kind of hoping maybe that, since you're the new person, maybe it'll make you a little bit less nervous because I think I shared with you the other day, oftentimes we'll just start to put down ideas on a piece of paper and then I'll start to rearrange and move them around and cut out sentences later. And it's kind of like some things that even my college professor told me. He said instead of getting so stuck on like one section that you're having a hard time struggling with mentally, like what you want to be there, just start taking all of your ideas in general and just put them down on a sheet. And I've actually even was shocked, but I think it was about a month ago, somebody I have like a lot of respect for that has written a lot of stuff. He actually said that he sits down away from his computer to be away from the distractions. And when he starts, he actually takes little 3x5 post it notes and he just starts to lay them out with like the general ideas of what he knows should go on, like the page for the content. He doesn't worry about the order. He just starts writing down like general ideas, like major topics that should be a part of it. And then as he starts to kind of write them down, then he starts to shuffle them around a little bit. Then he goes to his computer and starts to type. Um, it's a personal preference that's different with everyone. That's why I'm kind of sharing that with you. For me, I kind of like his idea, but I haven't tried it yet. So what I do, you saw me start with the blank slate, and then I will just go and I will actually open up a blank document in Google Docs just because that way then that document is everywhere I go. If I go to my other computer or if I go temporarily, like say into town and go to the library or whatever, that way when I log on, the document is in the cloud and then my notes are in Google Keep. So I use Google Keep religiously. Just makes everything so much easier. And you can see that because I do so many things, I have a lot of add-on tools up here. So, it can get a little crazy. And so I see where, not doing it at the computer could be beneficial for some people. And like I said, I might even try it myself. But what I'll do then is I'll try and just open up a new blank document. And I will probably use the same sheet that I sent to you to kind of help give me a few ideas on like what topics might be good to cover. Because I know that's one of the reasons why in the past I think other people have struggled is they don't know how to do the initial research so that they create content that matters. And I was actually shocked at a statistic. A person that I was listening to last week in a short webinar, he said that about 70, I think it was 72 or 75% of all the content that gets created actually never gets a single like, a comment, or a share. And part of that is because people will try and get in a hurry. And instead of like putting down the steps and then going, okay, first step is let me create like an article or something based on like what will help my audience. And since, it's a new site, we still kind of have like a vague idea of what our audience is. So you'll notice in that document, that's why I shared that with you, because in that document, it talks about, I believe, going to a site like BuzzFeed, for example, and then typing in like SEO or whatever the topic is that we're writing on. And it usually is around SEO or marketing. And so you try to find like, okay, what are people talking about? Like what's most popular in that category? And if you can't find something really easily, then the other thing that they suggest is seeking out someone who is like an expert in your industry that you would like to model yourself after. So one example, who's extremely popular in the same circles as me is a guy named Neil Patel. He does a whole lot of blog posting and writing. And he basically started out the same way years ago. But again, just, I start with super elemental foundational pieces like that so that it helps me to think, okay, when I find a topic or an article that I know that other people are interested in because maybe they're asking a lot of questions, like for example, right now, I believe there's a lot of confusion about like your site speed and your mobile site optimization and how much that might be affecting the amount of traffic that people are getting. And basically, one of the experts and my mentors basically put it to you this way: content will always produce more of an ability where people are willing to wait or kind of, be patient if the content is good. But kind of going back to what we talked about, if the content is not good, then they're not going to stick around anyway. So a lot of people, they try to do it backwards. They try to get in a hurry and say, oh man, it's an afterthought. I got to do some marketing. So what can I throw together really super quick and then just toss it up on the website? I sometimes will do that, but put it in draft mode in the back end of WordPress. So again, I'm just kind of sharing some general ideas because I don't know like what your workflow process is like, but that really is step one. And I'm going to end this video just because I want to have like short series of like 5 to say maybe 10-minute max videos so people don't get overwhelmed, because that's I do. And then, I just like to do like what some people call chunking or micro commitments. And you do like 10 to 15 minute, like what they call sprints at a time, where you just like, you're laser focused. You don't pay attention to Facebook or anything going on around you. And you set up the initial workspace, which is kind of like what I'm showing you right now, just opening up a blank document. And then I'm going to try and find that same document that I shared with you the other day. And I like to come over here and actually minimize this look to a list view, because otherwise it just takes up way too much space. And then the search feature is really nice because I know that I shared that document with you and I have a lot of other ones in here. I know that I shared that with you, like I think it was just a day ago. So what that allows me to do is use like this last modified, and then I can make the dates change to where the most current stuff is going to be at the top. And so these are folders, obviously. So now I'm going to go down and try and find that document. I I can't remember what the name of it is, or I would just type it like right up in here, and it probably would be easier. The other way that you can do it is you can say, okay, I know it's a document, so I'm going to do document in the search box up here, which I already did. And then you can actually refine it a little bit better. And I think what even makes it a little bit more of a challenge, especially when you're new, like I said, is just getting used to some of these little habits. You don't have to do exactly what I do. I'm just trying to give you pointers. Hopefully that helps some.